Hello students, welcome to our next video. So in this video we will discuss the diesel electric power station. Okay, so in the previous video we have seen the gas turbine power plant. Now in this lecture we will see diesel electric power plant. As the name suggests, the input side is fuel, that is diesel oil burned in the diesel engine producing high pressure gas to drive the engine, and engine drives the generator producing electrical power. The diesel engine may be 2-stroke or 4-stroke engine. Okay, so the next point is block diagram of electrical power station, diesel electric power station. So in this there are 8 main components. Okay, so the first one is diesel engine, which act as a prime mover. Second one is the engine air intake system. Third one is the engine fuel system. Fourth is engine exhaust system. Fifth one is engine cooling system. Sixth one is engine lubricating oil system. Seventh one is engine starting system. And eighth one is mechanical to electric power converter generator. Okay, so it is also called as alternator. Okay, so this is the diagram. Okay, so let's see the diagram's main component one by one. Okay, so the first one was the diesel engine, the main engine. Okay, so this is the main component of power plant, okay, which develops power. Diesel engine employed for diesel electric power plants may be 4-stroke or 2-stroke. Okay. In 4-stroke engine, the complete cycle of operation are performed in 4 strokes, namely suction, compression, expansion and exhaust strokes, and 2 revolution of engine. In the case of a 2-stroke diesel engine, all the 4 operations are completed within 2 stroke of the piston or during 1 revolution of crankshaft. The power and the exhaust operations are completed during the travel of the piston in backward direction, that is towards crank end of the cylinder, while intake and compression operations are completed during the forward travel of the piston. A 2-stroke engine is rugged and compact in construction, simple in mechanical design, easily reversible, cheaper in cost, develops more power for the same speed and piston displacement because of elimination of 2 idle strokes. Flywheel required is also smaller one because of development of more uniform torque. However, a 4-stroke engine has lower specific fuel consumption and more effective lubrication, more flexibility, less noisy exhaust, simple and better cooling, better scavenging and higher efficiency than a 2-stroke engine. Okay, so the second component was the engine air intake, including air filter, ducts and supercharger integral with the engine. Air intake system is provided to supply necessary air to engine for fuel combustion. Air requirements for large diesel electric power plants are considerable, which is about 4 to 8 meter cube per kilowatt hour. The air filters are provided to remove dust and other suspended impurities from the air to be supplied to the engine. The supercharger is usually employed to increase the pressure of intake air above atmospheric 1 in order to develop an increased power output. The air is drawn from outside the engine room and delivered to the inlet manifold through duct or pipes and filters. In cold season, the intake air is heated by heat from exhaust gases before injection. The filter are to be cleaned periodically. Superchargers are usually in between the engine and the intake since the noise may be transmitted back to the outside air via the air intake system. There should be minimum pressure loss in the air intake system. Otherwise, specific fuel consumption will increase and the engine capacity will be reduced. Okay. Now the third component is air engine fuel system, including fuel storage tank and fuel transfer pump with strainer and heater. Also, there is a connecting pipe. The fuel transfer pumps are required to transfer fuel from delivery point to storage tank and from storage tank to daily consumption tank and then to the engine. Strainers are provided to remove suspended impurities and thus ensures clean fuel supply to the engine. Heaters are required to heat the oil specifically during winter season. The fuel oil is supplied at the plant side by rail or road. The fuel is stored in the bulk storage tanks, which are usually situated outdoor for safety. The fuel oil is transferred from these tanks to the small storage tanks called dry tanks daily or at suitable intervals by means of transfer pumps through filters. From the day tank, the fuel oil is passed through the strainer and fired into the engine through fuel filters and fuel injection pump. The capacity of the daily consumption tank should be at least 8 hours requirement of the plant. Okay. The fourth point is engine exhaust system, including silencers and conducting duct. This system is provided to discharge the engine exhaust to the atmosphere outside the building. The exhaust manifold connects the engine cylinder exhaust to the exhaust pipe provided with a muffler to reduce pressure in exhaust line and eliminate most of the noise which may result if the waste gases are discharged directly into the atmosphere. As the temperature of exhaust gases is suddenly high, therefore the heat of these gases is utilized in heating oil or air supplied to the system or to the engine. In case of diesel electric generating unit installed in the steam power plant, exhaust system also includes water heater and steam boiler in order to utilize the heat of waste gases. Fifth one is the engine cooling system. It is known that the heat generated by burning of the fuel in the engine cylinder is partially converted into useful work. The remainder is wasted as a heat in the outgoing exhaust gases and in heating the engine, and if not removed may disintegrate the lubricating oil film on cylinder walls and damage the cylinder liners, heads, valves, pistons and rings. Small engines may be air cooled, but large engines mostly make use of forced water cooling. In the forced water cooling, cold water is sent through the cylinder jacket and with the help of pump. The hot water is cooled in spray pond and recirculated. The water used for cooling engine cylinder is softened by water treatment or water filtration plant in order to avoid the formation of scalds, etc. in it. This requires the control of the flow of cooling water according to the load on the engines. Next one is the engine lubricating oil system. This system is of great importance and is provided for lubrication of the moving part, removing the heat from the cylinders and the bearings. helping the piston rings to seal the gases in the cylinder and for carrying away the solid dirt particles from the rubbing parts. The life of the engine and the efficiency depends largely on its lubrication system. The part of the engine requires lubrication are pistons and cylinders, gears, crankshaft and connecting rods, bearings, etc. Pistons and cylinder require special lubricating oil. The forced feed lubrication is mostly employed. In this system of lubrication, the lubrication oil is drawn from the sump by means of pump and is passed through the strainer and then through a filter in order to remove the impurities. Usually the lubricating oil is hot when drawn from sump. If it is not, it should be heated first before passing through the filter in order to decrease its viscosity and makes the filtration easy. The lubrication oil cost of diesel power plants are about 30% of the fuel cost. Seventh one is the engine starting, including battery, starter, compressed air supply, etc. The system is provided to rotate the engine initially while starting until the firing starts, and the unit runs under its own power. Small sets are usually started manually by handles, but for large sets capacity, say about 75 kilowatts, the compressed air air system is mostly employed for starting diesel engine. Battery driven motors can also be used for starting the diesel engine sets. In compressed air system of starting the compressed air from the tank and at high pressure, say about 20 atmospheric pressure, is admitted to a few of the engine cylinders, making them to act as a reciprocating air motors to turn the engine shaft. The fuel is admitted to the remaining cylinder, which causes the engine to start under its own power. The motor driven compressor is employed for supply of air to be compressed air tank. Battery supplied electric power to the motors through starting switch. Motor is large current, low voltage series motor. Okay, so the motor is linked with the engine's flywheel through gear and rotate the engine to start it. Once the engine is started, it disconnects automatically in the engine running condition. A solenoid helps positive engagement of starting motor pinion with flying wheel until the engine is started. Now the last one is the diesel engine generator or alternator. The alternator used in diesel electric power plants are rotating field silent pole construction, speed ranging from 214 to 1000 rpm, pole are about 28 to 6, and capacity ranges from 25 to 5000 kVA at 0.8 power factor lagging. Their output voltage are 440 volt in case of small machines and as high as 20 to 100 volt in case of large machines. Voltage regulation is about 30%. They are directly coupled to the diesel engines. They are provided with AVR, that is automatic voltage regulator, to allow close voltage regulation and satisfactory parallel operation. The excitation is usually provided at 115 or 230 volt from a DC exciter of rating 2 to 4% of the alternator rating, usually coupled to engine shaft either directly or through a belt. Okay, so these are the all main components of diesel electric power plant. Okay, now in the next video we will see the factors consideration for selection of site of diesel electric power plant. Okay, and we will see the comparison of diesel plant and steam plant, application of diesel plants. Okay, I hope you understand this lecture. If you have any kind of doubt, you can contact me. Thank you for watching.